Now, oh, Captain, my captain, our fearless leader, number 20, right here on the shirt, Markelle Fultz. I'm just going to say I gave this man an A.
Okay.
I gave this man a straight up A. He's averaging career highs in points, assists, rebounds, steals, field goal percentage. His effective field goal percentage, which again incorporates the three-point shot, has increased every year. He's up to over 53% this year. He's in the top 10% in the league in terms of assist percentage. He assisted on nearly 30% of the Orlando Magic made shots, almost a third. So that's just the impact. You saw what it was on the floor. When we came back, it was just around that 5-20 mark. We went around 500, a little over since he came back. That's a huge margin. I wonder what statistic that would be. The plus the WAR, isn't that the WAR exists in other sports? Does that agree? Wins above replacement?
Yeah.
I wonder if that must exist in the NBA. Someone help us out. Put that in the comments.
It's got to.
What's his WAR? Because I mean, you see it in the data there. 5-20. What we finished. It's got to be a pretty big WAR, if I'm guessing.
I'm surprised you didn't look that fact up.
I'm a little disappointed in myself.
That stat is a little bit borderline matter.
Yeah,
honestly.
Well, maybe why don't you give him some love? Let me know what did you grade him, and I'll look that ditty up.
Well, I wrote down an 11 out of 10.
You turned it up.
Yeah, I mean he's 20 pounds of good in a 5-pound bag, and he's letting people know that he's coming to be a name. You have to be like, oh yeah, that guy, right? Like, he's not a bust anymore. Like, if you're one of those people that still hasn't caught up on your Markelle Fultz, then you're probably not a Magic fan, because all of us know. We're like, this guy is the straw that stirs the drink. And it was seen by when he came back, and he's our floor leader, and he can do so much. And if he makes a mistake, he seems to then recover and get the ball right back. So, like, even his turnovers seem to kind of offset themselves. We talked about it at one point during the year about how he was a positive player in the possessions.
Yes.
And that's something that a lot of teams overlook maybe. But if you have a guy on the court that's getting you more possessions than he's costing you, well, that's what you need out of your
That's a winning player.
That's a winning player.
Yeah.
So I love it for Markelle because he's had a long road and injury issues and had a hard time staying on the court. And this year, he played most of the year consecutively, even though Dante tried to get him out at the end with a little jinx towards the end of the season about playing, 57 games in a row or something?
Yeah, that was bad.
But, Kell is showing that he's here to stay. He has to be taken seriously. And if he can continue to play that, if he plays that way from day one next year, it will be hard to keep this guy off an all-star team.
I agree. I think he's the key cog on the squad. In his exit interviews, they asked him, what are you working on, next? When asked about how much the three-point shot is going to factor in moving forward. And he was very reflective about understanding that's a barrier for him, but not a barrier in terms of skill. He feels confident he can knock the shot down. It was more a barrier of habit. And that's kind of what I love. He's like, yeah, I get to the paint. I just have a nose to get to my mid-range, get to the paint, distribute the ball. But I'm realizing that I just have to, with reps, kind of work around that habit and realize that I can pull up, I can shoot from here and keep doing it. So I love that answer because him getting to the paint does so much for us. I don't want you to fight that habit too hard, Markelle. Don't go too hard on that habit. We love it. That's a good habit.
If he's going to be a good three-point shooter, that's what we need. So it'd be interesting to know
everyone, we were talking about how the shot release at the end of the season looked exactly the same as the mid-range, coming off real Purdy-like. And so he has the confidence to knock it down. He can do it.
I mean, he has not played a lot of games consecutively to the point where, I know he was drafted in, 2017? Yeah. But he hasn't been on the floor long enough to really get the reps. So, I mean, he's been in the NBA that long, but with the amount of time he's missed, he's still got some rookie vibes, or sophomore vibes or junior vibes. So if he can continue to get better,
yes,
he's not done. He's not just trying to get back to where he was. He's trying to go over that. And I mean, this guy was a number one pick for a reason. He had truly had something. People saw it. And now we're seeing it here at the NBA level, and there's room for him to grow in the NBA to do even more. So, yeah, it's aces for me for Markelle Fultz. Just a great year. And if he does it again next year with everything that we've got going on, I mean, sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah. I mean, the 3-point percentage, I was looking it up, 38%. I mean, I'm sorry, 31.2%. I wish it was 38%. But that is an increase, has been increasing every single year. So I believe in that consistency. And more than anything, when I think Coach Mosley was asked about Markelle, he talked about the joy, the passion that he brought to this team, that he invigorated the squad with, and the level of confidence that he had that kind of disseminated throughout this young squad when he came back onto the floor. He really pushes this group to get better. I think, I'm so happy to have him as one of the leaders bringing that competitive edge. And you see it just playing out. And anytime he has a turnover, that competitive edge kicks in, and he won't allow it.
So now a lot of guys, like if they get blocked or the ball gets stolen from them, will then go back and make a dumb foul trying to get the ball back.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that.
No.
He just gets it back, or makes them make a mistake.
Yeah, and I'm curious because I'm drinking the Markelle Fultz Kool-Aid. How is everyone feeling out there? The opinion is split a little bit in the Magic community at times, I find, just because of the 3-point shot. Some people feel like you need a point guard to be able to have a 3-point shot, like in upwards high 30s, someone that is the threat from there. We'll see. Do you think Markelle Fultz can be that, or is his game stay the same and he's still starting point guard no matter what for you? Questions.
I couldn't imagine people not being on board with Markelle Fultz, but you're right. There are some people out there who are doubters who think he needs to be changed out, and I say, I don't know what more you really want. So, what's your problem?